The zombie thing? Really? I draw you a beautiful picture of you with your big blue eyes and pretty hair, rosy cheeks. And you draw me with C4 on my back, running towards zombies because that's the only way I'd be useful in a zombie apocalypse. I have one response to that. False. I would never run anywhere. In case anybody needs any help deciding who's their favorite, Rosemary or Mary, I give you the worst person in the world versus me. Rosy cheeks! Okay, today's topic is about how I have suffered a massive injustice. Like really, we should call someone about this. I totally should have been born in 1970 instead of 1987. It should be noticed I'm actually kind of in the minority on this 1970 mark. A lot of friends think they could see me in the 30s or in the 50s, but that has way more to do with me liking to sing blues and the size of my rack than like my soul. The music would have been perfect. I turned 10 in 1980. I have all of the sucky but awesome power ballads to listen to when I'm mooning over somebody who doesn't know who I am when I'm 13. And when I start to act really rebellious but actually don't do anything rebellious except look and seem really angry, like I did during my own adolescence, I have butt rock and heavy metal to listen to. My parents would have hated that. It would have been awesome. And then the 90s. Oh my gosh, the 90s. Nirvana. I could have seen Kurt Cobain. I could have mourned Kurt Cobain when he actually died as opposed to like my 10 years later epiphany that, rocked my world still. But I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. I had all of the grunge movement. I could have had fabulous pop music that I hated but secretly liked. Another sign. I've been a Diet Coke addict since about 12 years old. When I started junior high and there was vending machines. When was Diet Coke first released? 1982. I would have been 12. Oh my gosh, it's like the universe is trying to say, this is so wrong. Why weren't you there for us? Oh, and the styles. It was so horribly awkward and ugly and strange and like pretty unhygienic all through adolescence. And if I had been born in 1970, I could have been like, what? It was the 80s. We all looked like that. Problem solved. I would have fit in. I mean, it still would have been awkward. Most likely had headgear. But at least I would have had John Hughes movies to help me out because they would have been in theaters back then. I'm just saying, I was born in the totally wrong era. Oh my gosh, the TV. I firmly maintain that I would have gotten a job writing for the X-Files if I had been born in 1970. Next Generation and Deep Space Nine are in the 90s. Stargate. It was the birth of great sci-fi. I could have been in on that. The movies. Oh my gosh. Well, one of my all-time favorite movies, Reality Bites, 1994. I would have been 24. I would have been their age. It's all about that fabulous, angsty post-college life. Wow, I would have totally stalked Ethan Hawke if I was the same age back then. Which might be a downside. Now whenever I want to stalk them after watching Reality Bites, I just remember he did that Hamlet and fix. When SLC Punk, 1997, Armageddon, Independence Day, Jurassic Park. Oh my gosh, why didn't this happen? Also, the tech was manageable. I mean, you still had cool stuff, but it wasn't like completely owning your world and dominating everything you do. My laptop would have been the size of my apartment. I loved that. I like tactile things. Although you totally know I would have been that person, but like, whatever, CDs. 8-tracks is where you get the real texture. I am known to pick really stupid battles like that. Don't tell anybody I actually admitted that it's stupid. I would have a reason. Well, not a good reason, because no one has a good reason to say this, but I would be able to go talk to the hand and be like, I'm all that in a bag of chips. Getting jiggy with it. Oh my gosh, the MC Hammer Slide. I could have spent a year just doing the MC Hammer Slide. All I'm saying is, Andre the Giant died in 1993. I could have had 23 years of knowing he was out there in the world. And with that, I rest my case. Okay, Rosemary, bounce back in your report for Monday. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what to talk about, but I do challenge you to tell our viewers about perhaps an irrational fear of tiny heights. But yeah.